Welcome back to my channel. If you're new tuning in, I'm doing a side-by-side video. If you're a subscriber or already seen some of my videos I did on the T-Boss 550, I did a lot of upgrades to it. So this is actually a new side-by-side I bought. It's used, it's new to me though, but it's a 2020 T-Boss 750. So pretty much the same as the 550, but I'm going to do basically all the same upgrades I did to the 550. I won't make all the videos, but a couple of them I want to redo because it's going to be upgraded, newer, better version. So first one I'm going to do is probably going to be a headlight upgrade. It's going to be similar to the other video I did, but it's going to be a lot easier, and I'm going to go in depth and show you how to build the whole headlight assembly and everything. One of the first things I'm going to do after that is I'm going to be replacing the windshield. So let me show you that. So here's the machine. Same headlight setup as the 550, so these got to come out and put new headlights, and I got all the hardware for it. I'm going to install it. This is actually a Bennche model, same as the Massimo, made by Massimo but made for Bennche, so it's the same. This is a 2020 model, so it's got the older windshield, which opens. It's got two handles on the side that open it, and it only opens a quarter of the way. So I'm going to be replacing this with the newer upgraded version of the windshield that opens up fully, and it's got the handle in the center. Also, this is only like an 1/8 inch thick versus the newer ones are like a 1/4 inch thick. But I'll be reusing this on the back. I'm going to turn it into a back windshield for it. So that'll be one of the things I do. It also has the net doors and these metal rails here. I'm not sure if I'm going to add the plastic doors to it. I might. I still got to think about it. So it also doesn't have the center touchscreen display, and I think I'll probably add that. I have to call Massimo and see. They have it shown on their website, but it says you have to call for availability, so I will do that. But let's go ahead and get started looking at the headlight assembly. Okay, so here's the headlight assembly. Comes with this trim cover and the headlight assembly, hardware packet, and then we have, this is a LED bulb. You don't need this, but I'm going to add this. It's going to give you the daytime running lights, and it's going to illuminate. This is actually a red one, so it's going to illuminate red. That's optional. This is your ballast that you will need. Makes it plug and play. And this is the headlight bulb that we will be using. And it's got the connectors, which it'll plug right into the ballast right back here. So I have one already built. Here's the put together. Put all the washers on it. It's got the retaining clip to hold the bulb in. This side, the LED bulb attaches. And you see this opposite side, it's got these wires coming out, which this controls this headlight unit. It's got a mechanism in there. Show you on this one. You can see that mechanism in there. Right there. So that metal piece, when you hit your high beams, you got to connect those wires to your high beams, and then that flips that down, and so that gives you high beams. That controls your high and low beams. When it's flipped up, you got low beams. When it's flipped down, it allows the full beam to shine through, giving your high beams. So however you wire it, those two wires got to be wired into your high beam switch. You know, if you're gonna wire it yourself, or you can get a kit like this. This is designed to retrofit a car headlight assembly. So it's got the plugs that plug into the high beam switch, and then it's got the plugs that plug into the bulb. and it's you know, you wire it up to the battery, and it got an inline fuse, and then it's got this normally has a plug in it. I already cut it because I was thinking I was going to use this. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it now, but it had a 3-prong plug on it to be plugged into an automotive circuit. You're already a pre-existing light circuit, but since this we're completely building a whole new circuit, you don't really need that 3-prong plug. There's nowhere to plug it anyway. So I cut it, and I'm not sure if I'm going to use this or if I'm going to make my own, but that's a possibility. So let's go ahead and we're going to build this headlight bulb, put it all together. So included in the kit will be these 4 screws, which is going to screw this trim cap on. So that's going to be the first thing we're going to do, is we're going to screw this on. So we got to line it up right, and we're going to put in the 2 screws down here first where this wire is. Okay, so I got those 2 screws in on the bottom here. Now on the top, we're actually going to put this LED bulb in first. And you can see which way it goes. It's facing down, and you can see how it's curved in to fit it. So it's going to go in just like that, and then the screws are going to go in and attach it all together. Okay, so I got that screwed in. I got this LED bulb attached at the top here. So this is going to give you a daytime running light. It's going to illuminate red though, but it'll give you a daytime running light effect. I'm going to wire it up independently from the other switch, so it's going to have, so I can turn it on and off, and I can use it independently of the high and low beam switch. Next we got to install these washers. This technically probably don't need for this project. These are made to retrofit a headlight assembly, give it a weather-tight seal. Probably don't need it for this project, but I'm going to go ahead and install them anyway. So the first thing we got to do is we got to take off this bracket on the back here, and there's a nut here that's got to come off. So we got to take these 3 screws out. So we took those 3 screws out, this bracket comes off, and then we can take the nut off. And we have our hardware kit. We're going to install this stuff. So first we have a rubber washer that'll go on first. That's on. Next we have 2 different style washers. These actually, like I said, we need this particularly for this project. These are for different style headlight bulbs. I'm just going to install both of them just for the heck of it. You can see how they have a part right there that sticks out, and there's a slot right here, so they just go just like that. And that's done. And then we'll put the nut back on, the bracket back on, and then we'll install the light bulb. So we got nut back on. Now to install the bracket. Okay, bracket's installed. Now we got to install the light bulb. Here's our light. Notice it's got this rod at the edge of it, so it can only go in one way in here. It fits in there just like that. Now we have the clip that holds it on. You'll notice on this bracket there's 2 holes on the back here and 2 slots in here, so it goes into there, and then you slide it into these. So here's the bracket. So this in here, these go into the holes. Just okay, so there it is, complete. That's what it should look like. Got the retaining clip holding it on. This is all ready to be plugged in and installed. So you'll see these 2 wires here. These are going to plug into your ballast. There's this ballast like here. Those plug into there. And this will plug into usually this is designed to plug into a pre-existing headlight assembly, or plug into this aftermarket wire setup. But what you can do, and what I may do, is just use some pigtails like this to plug into this ballast and then run through my wiring harness that I'll probably build. So that is plugged into the ballast, installed, and when you're wiring this up, you got to make sure to hook up this to your high beams, however you do it. If you're going to do it, create your own wiring harness and wire it directly to the rocker switch, or if you're going to use one of these things, then you just plug it in. It's got a spot for it to plug into. Then we're ready to install these. The only thing I have to figure out is how to create a mounting bracket for this to keep it from moving around. I did it in the other video, so I'm going to do something similar to that here. So these can be mounted, and if you're going to use a wiring harness like this, you can get something like this, hook it up to your battery, to your rocker switch, and be done. I'm actually going to be installing a auxiliary fuse block, because I'm going to be hooking up more than just a couple of accessories. I'm going to be doing about 4 or 5. So I'm just going to go ahead and put in an auxiliary fuse block and do it that way. I made a video of that on my other one I did, so I'll leave a link to that. The other thing I'm going to use is these styrofoam cups. I wonder what I'm using these for. So if you look at the headlights on the T-Boss, they have like a rubber cone on the back of them to protect them from weather. That's what I'm going to use these for. I'm going to spray these with I think a rubber undercoating, and then they'll go on the back of the headlight assembly like so. I'll probably trim them down to about there or so, and I'll secure them on there. Maybe use some zip tie around the end of it, hold it on. But I think that'll work pretty good. I'll feed the wires through there. I think that'll work pretty good. So I also bought these on Amazon. I'll leave a link to all this stuff in here, so in case you're interested in doing this too. If you have a T-Boss 550, or if you have an older 750 that you want to do this too. But yeah, this will work for the newer T-Boss 550s. But I bought this pigtail on Amazon, and it's got 2 leads already in it. So this actually will plug into this ballast here, and then you can take it and plug it in and create your own wiring harness. So I may do that instead of using that wiring harness. But yeah, that's an option if you were gonna create your own wiring harness. So you need the headlight assembly, and you can get the LED bulb if you want to have daytime running lights, or you can just get the H1 bulb, the ballast, this pigtail, and of course you'll need a rocker switch and some wire and everything else to hook it up. But check out my other video where I did a wired up the auxiliary fuse block. That'll show you a lot of how to do all that. But thanks for checking out the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more updates I do to this T-Boss 750 and some of the videos I upload of my 550. Thanks for watching. This is basically what it's going to look like when you're done, or when I'm done. There's a styrofoam cup. I trimmed a little bit off of it, cut a little bit of a hole in the back of it, put some slits in it so it'll fit on like that. It fits pretty good. Put a zip tie around the front, hold it on tight. I'm probably going to take it off though. I'm going to spray it with some rubberized undercoating, so it'll give it a black look and it'll give it a nice rubberized insulation to it. And once it's all fitted on there, maybe take some silicone, spray here, a little bit of silicone caulk, and that'll give it a good weather tight seal. Should be pretty good, I mean, for the most part. and then put that in there, put that in the headlight assembly, and you got to come up with some kind of mounting bracket for that. And I have an idea that I'm going to try and see if I can get it to work. So the blank covers that are already in there, they just screw in. They're held in by three screws. And I tried one and I cut out the bubble part of it, so it's just got the ring, and it kind of fits on here, but I'm not sure if I can get it to work, if it's going to be too tight. So that's one of my ideas. I've used the other video, I used some plastic that I cut out, and some black plastic piece and put it on there and mounted it, and it works pretty good. I'm gonna try to see if I can come up with something better for this one.